I had a question on 43.
All right,
Yeah.
43 and 44. Let's find that. What section was it? 1-7, right?
Yeah.
1-7. Oh, very important problems here, guys. Very, very, very important. All right, so here we go. Number 43 especially. All right, I want to really talk about 43. Can somebody tell me what that actually says? What does that say? What's the question? Look up on the board for number 43. What does that mean?
It's you multiply 5 after you do all the adding.
Yes, right. That means 5 times f of d. Now listen to what I just said that. 5 times f of d. So the first thing I do is I have to find f of d, which means wherever I see an x, I put what?
D.
That's all there is. Wherever I see an x, I put d in the f function. So here we go. Equals 5. Now I'm just going to keep the brackets here just because they have a bracket. And then I look at the f function, which is negative 2x minus 3. So it'd be negative 2, open parentheses, d, close parentheses, minus 3, close the bracket. Does anybody have any issues with that? Good, Cole. What's the matter? Okay, hold on. So now, if we simplify that, that's 5 parentheses, negative 2d minus 3, correct? Which is the same as, now tell me, final answer, Cole. Yep, minus, that is excellent. If you understand that, then you pretty much understood what I was trying to teach you yesterday. All right? You're learning to follow directions using functional notation. Really one of the most important things we do all year. Because after algebra, that's all they talk about, functions, functions, functions. What?
I got the right answer, but I did something different. I distributed instead of...
Here's what I want you to do now. For times like this, if you're doing something a little bit different, I want to make sure you're hearing exactly how I'm saying it. Because that's exactly how I want you to do it. Now, oftentimes you can come up with the same answer doing it a different way. Remember what I try to always tell kids? If there was an easier or better or more efficient way, guess what? I would try to do that. All right? This is teaching you how to follow directions. All right? So now on 44, it should be the same thing now, correct? All right? It's just going to be what? It's just going to be 3 times, and what do I do now? Replace what? Replace x with n. So I look at the g function, so it's going to be n squared plus 5n, which is nothing more than 3n squared plus 15n. Perfect. All right, does that make better sense now? All right, anybody else now from last night? All right, I don't care what it is. And remember what I said, I'm not interested in you just writing down an answer. I want to know if you don't know something.
Wait, for 44, what did you combine these?
Very good question. Very good. N and n squared are like x and y. They're completely different. Do you hear me? You can't combine them. It's like pencils and pens. You don't put them together. They're separate. You count them individually. N is completely different than n squared, so you can't add them.
Number 38.
Good for you, buddy. Now, very important problem also, following directions. So the directions on this are find f of 0 and then what? Subtract 7. You hear me on this? So what is f of 0? So that is equal to negative 2 times 0 minus 3. We're going to do that first. And then we're going to do what? Subtract 7. You with me on this? So after all that, it's just what? Negative 10. You happy with that?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Yes, sir. Which one? 37 is essentially the same as 38, except I like doing this problem because there's a negative in there, and I want to make sure you understand that. All right? So on this problem, 37, All right, I plug -2 in. Now, when you plug -2 in, remember, it requires parentheses. +5 times -2. We're going to do all of that, and then we're going to what? We're going to add 2. Bless you, bless you, bless you. You with me on this? Did that make sense to you? Now, because it's a little crammed, I'm just going to bring it over here, if you don't mind. All right, we're going to bring it over here so it's clear. Does everybody see that? Now, I'm just going to blow it up a little too. All right, so now if we look at this, what's -2 squared? What? 4, thank you. 5 times -2. 4 minus 10. 4 minus 10. What's 4 minus 10?
Oh.
-6 plus 2. -4. That's my answer. That's good mental math right there. All right. Good for you. Yes, ma'am. Let's take a look at 45. No. Yeah, I don't worry about 45 if you don't mind. Okay. Yes, sir. 26. Good for you, man. Let's take a look at 26. I crossed it out yesterday. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Okay, I feel good about that, guys. That's really, really, really important. Really important. All right? You'll be doing this stuff all the way through your high school career. You have to understand functional notation. All right? So with that in mind, what I want to do now is I want to collect your homework, please. So I'm going to walk around and collect that. Now, yesterday, some people didn't have their name on their paper. Please make sure your name's on your paper. It's been a while. All right? Make sure your name's on the paper. And then today, I believe it's section 2-5. Very easy day. You like today. Very, very simple. Very simple day. All right, head your paper properly, please. Let me have this. Let me have this.
This was yesterday's. I apologize. Today.
I'm going to put a 0 in. Okay. I put zeros just to make sure I mark it. If I don't put a 0, then I forget.
It would just take me.
Everybody's good? Thank you.
Well, no.
All right. Now, again, listen to me, guys. Today, most kids like this better because it's what we say is just an algorithm. There's just a procedure for how to solve these problems. Is everybody with me? All right. Now, today we're going to talk about absolute values. Can anybody remember what absolute value really is? What is absolute value? Oh, not a bad idea, but not entirely correct. All right. Absolute value refers to the number away from 0. That is absolutely the exact answer. All right. So the distance you are from the origin. However, listen to me. In math or in science, we talk a lot about distance. And the reason why they use absolute value, see if this makes sense. Because if I say, what's the distance from here to your house, let's say it's 5 miles. Then if I say, what's the distance from your house to here, you wouldn't say it's -5 miles. So bear with me. All right, distance is always what? Positive. Now, a direction can be what? Negative. But a distance cannot. So if somebody says -3, that just means you're going what? Backwards. +3 means you're going what? Forwards. All right? So I'm not saying -5 miles is not possible. The negative just reflects what direction you are heading. So bear with me on this. So absolute value simply means how far away you are from the origin. And absolute value means that the number is always what? It's always positive. All right? So now, here we go. Let's try to set a few things up here. All right. Now, for question number 1, we're just going to go ahead and practice our mental math. All right? Today is practicing mental math. Everybody's got to do that. All right? So here we go. If I plug 3 minus h, what's 3 minus h? What's the absolute value of -2? plus 13.
15.
So everybody can just write down 15. All right, we're practicing mental math. All right, number 2. What would be g plus 9? 5, right? What's the absolute value of 5? Do not say negative 5. It's 5. The absolute value of 5 is 5, and the absolute value of negative 5 is also what? 5. All right, so absolute value just means that it's a distance. All right, so again, this is the absolute value of 5. Absolute value of 5 is? So 16 minus 5. 11. Somebody with me on this? Okay. So now, what's f plus g? Come on, guys. Negative 1. Come on, please pay attention and join with me. All right, that's what you're doing. You're practicing your mental math. All right? F plus g again is what? The absolute value of negative 1. 1 minus 5.
Negative 4.
Beautiful. That's what we want. Number 3 is negative 4. All right, is everybody happy with that? All right, basic. Okay, now we're going to learn about how to solve absolute value equations. All right, and when we solve absolute value equations, there is what's referred to as a little algorithm for that. All right, so let me show you exactly what that means. Now, this is the note that you need. All right, this is the note that you need. All right, whenever you solve an absolute value, right, I want to look at number 4 specifically. What is the absolute value of 5?
5.
What is the absolute value of negative 5?
5.
Now, please look up here because I always thought this was so obvious, and then some people that I teach go, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. So you understand, if I say the absolute value of 5, you're going to tell me the answer is?
5.
If I say what's the absolute value of negative 5?
5.
So I know this n plus 7 can be either what?
5.
It can either be 5 or negative 5. And your objective is to figure out what value for n makes it 5 or what value of n makes it negative 5. So you listen to what I'm just saying. Originally, you said to me the absolute value is 5 and the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. Do you agree? So there are 2 possible solutions. Agreed? So every time you do an absolute value problem, there are 2 possibilities. So you're going to write n plus 7 equals 5 or n plus 7 equals negative 5. Now, because we are brilliant, that's just mental math. So n could equal what? Negative 2, or n could equal what?
No.
What? Somebody solve that equation. N plus 7 equals negative 5. Wow.
Negative 12.
Negative 12. Thank you. Come on, guys. That's not hard. Do I need to put a minus 7 and a minus 7 up there? Do I need to put a minus and then say what's 5 minus 7 and what's negative 5 minus 7? Is everybody okay with that? Now, let me say something now, please. Highlighting this right there. If I plug in negative 2 and negative 12, what answers do you think I'm going to get? 5 and negative 5. Right? So let's just double check that. If I were to take this negative 2 and plug it in for 7, what would I get?
5.
And what's the absolute value of 5?
5.
5. If I plug negative 12 in for n, what am I going to get? What's the absolute value of negative 5? Does everybody understand what I'm trying to show you?
Yes.
That's it. You're trying to find the 2 values that equal 5 and equal what? Negative 5. That's it. Everybody okay with that? Does everybody agree? Pretty simple. This is the answer. Right here. Yes. Every time you do an absolute value, there's going to be 2 solutions. All right? So look at number 5. 3z minus 3 can equal what? No. I don't want the answer. It can equal 9. Or 3z minus 3 can equal what? Negative 9. Exactly. Now look, guys, I'm expecting mental math on this. Look, come on, everybody in here, we're practicing today mental math. All right, so I'm going to do what? Add 3 and then divide by 3. So you should be able to tell me z equals what? 4. If you can't do that, I need you to raise your hand so I can practice with you. All right, I don't want to, have to go through all that. I don't want you to put plus 3 plus 3. Come on, if you can't do 9 plus 3 divided by 3, we're in trouble. Does everybody agree with me? All right, over here. Now I'm going to add 3. What do I get? Negative 6 divided by 3. There you go. Z equals negative 2. Is everybody with me on this? Now sometimes it's more complicated, so I don't want you to do the mental math. When something's that simple, we're just going to do the mental math. Any questions or concerns? All right, let's check out number 6. Uh-oh. You're going to get tricked a lot of times. What's the problem here? Can an absolute value or can a distance be negative?
No.
Therefore, the answer is no solution. Thank you very much. No solution. Why is it no solution? Can an absolute value equal a negative? No. No matter what number you take the absolute value of, is it ever going to be negative 6? Never, ever. All right? So, if you are a robot, you'll just go through this and put 4n minus 1 equals 6 and 4n minus 1 equals negative or positive 6 and won't ever think about it. You have to think about absolute values. If the absolute value is set equal to a negative, it doesn't work. Is everybody with me? All right, so here we go. I want to look at 7, 8, 9 now just to make sure. All right, see if there's anything harder here. All right. So here we go. 7. All right, how are we going to write this? Go ahead, Cole.
So 1b plus 4
Equals, and the other one is?
b plus 4 equals
That's exactly correct. Mental math, b equals negative 2, b equals negative 6. Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. Everybody good on that?
Yes.
All right, Julian, help me out with number 8. How do I write it?
2t minus 4 equals 8, and then 2t minus 4 equals negative 8.
Okay, mental math that. Tell me what t equals.
That's, so that would be, for negative 8, that would be negative 4, and 12. Or, no, sorry, I forgot to divide.
There you go. Shh.
So 2t minus 4 equals 8, that's 6,
Good.
and that's negative 6.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Take your time. What's negative 8 plus 4?
So that's 1.
No, listen to me now. I'm asking you a question. I want you to tell me what negative 8 plus 4 is.
8 plus 4.
Divided by 2.
Oh, divided by 2, sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Negative 2.
Yeah. So take your time, buddy. All right? Everything's good on that. All right, so practice. Go.
Okay, wait, I'm confused. Why do you write it like 2 times but with the negative on the side?
Okay, because of this. Watch. You ready? Look up. What's the absolute value of 8? That's why I set it equal to 8. Because what's inside can be 8. You agree with that or not? What's the absolute value of negative 8? So what's inside can equal negative 8. Right? That's it. That's why there's 2 solutions. There's 2 possibilities. And of course, number 9 we would say is what? Number 9 we would say is no solution. Number 9 we would say is no solution. All right? Now I want to look back up here because I want to see if I want to do this. Okay, number 10. Here we go. Listen. On number 10, we're not going to write an equation for number 10. All right, you're just going to see if you understand what it is. All right. For a company to invest in a product, they must believe they will receive 12% return on investment, plus or minus 3%. All right. So if they want to make 12%, but they will accept plus or minus 3%, what's the lowest they'll take? 9%. And what's the highest they will take?
15%.
The highest they will take is 15%, right? So we know our answer, all right, our investment, right, could either be 15% or it could be what? Or it could be 9%. Is everybody with me on that? All right. Now, 11 and 12. When it says write the equation involving the absolute value, we're not going to, I'm not expecting you to be able to go backwards yet. Okay? So 11 and 12 you can cross out. So 11 and 12 you can cross out. All right? Now, I feel like I've done a pretty good job with you on the homework. Let me scroll up and see if there's anything tricky. I don't think there's anything tricky. Here we go. Your assignment. All right, here we go. This is your assignment. It's 13 through 30, comma, 13 through 31, sorry. 13 through 31. And you're doing 31 just like we did.
I thought it was just 30.
Is it, what does it say?
Yeah, it's in the top, it's 2 through 30.
1 through 30, 37 through 42. You with me? Right, so I do want you to try 31. All right, and then 37 through 42. All right, so give that a shot, guys. All right, especially the mental math part of it. All right, be careful with 13 through 21. All right, you got time now. Get started on that. The other thing is, guys, listen, I don't mind you working together, just like last year. All right? 106.